The contents of this podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be considered as medical advice. If you have a specific health concern or condition, please consult a qualified healthcare professional. For more details, check out herguru.uk/disclaimers. I'm wondering if completely random acts have the power to transform your mood and mental well-being. And I'm curious to know, do you believe that one small gesture can spark a chain reaction of positivity, impacting not just you, but your entire community? Well, guess what? I do. So let's go exploring. Hello, everyone, and welcome to ABGW, amazing, brilliant, gorgeous, wonderful. I'm Cheryl, your guide on this transformational journey. Today's episode is all about why kindness is our greatest strength. But it's not just another conversation, it's a stepping stone towards a life you love more often than not, a life filled with empowerment and healing. So if you're ready to embrace change and take meaningful steps towards your own trauma recovery and resilience, then stay tuned. Today we have a special episode for all those amazing yet sometimes downhearted female professionals. We're going to explore the unique and uplifting strategy of kindness. But not just any kind of kindness. We're focusing on the incredible effects of random acts of kindness. Now, I would love you to meet a friend of mine. Her name is Kenya. Kenya is a very interesting person, so let's go meet her. This episode of ABGW is brought to you by HerGuru Coaching and Hypnotherapy. Exploring the potential within. HerGuru provides both physical and mental fitness coaching and hypnotherapy services. You can find out more details by visiting herguru.uk. Kenya, at 51, cherished her new title as a grandmother, a role offering her a chance to rewrite a legacy different from the one that she had inherited. Childhood memories, often shadowed by her parents' harsh treatment, lingered like an unwelcome ghost. As she looked into the innocent eyes of her grandchild, she vowed to be the source of warmth that she never received. Determined, Kenya sought the help of a mental trauma coach, hoping to unravel the knots of resentment that had entangled her heart for years. Through gentle conversations and guided reflections, Kenya and her coach journeyed into her past, not to dwell, but to understand and to heal. One session brought a revelation. Her coach asked, "How do you feel when someone shows you kindness?" The science behind kindness. So for me, it's important that we understand the why. Why does kindness, especially those beautiful random acts of kindness, have such a significant impact on us? Research, if I can get my words out, has consistently shown that kindness isn't just good for the recipient, it's also for the giver, because performing acts of kindness can help reduce anxiety and elevate our happiness. And it's incredible, I think, how a simple act of generosity can have such a profound impact on our mental health, because people who perform acts of kindness, in my experience, increase their well-being and reduce social anxiety. Do you remember that quote from Aesop? I think it goes something like this: "No act of kindness, no matter how small, is ever wasted." So it's important that we integrate kindness into all areas of our life. I mean, when you think about, I think it was in the film Pay It Forward, there was a scene where Trevor helped a homeless man. And it's beautiful because to me, because it illustrates the pure, impactful nature of selfless kindness. And that's what I'm talking about, selfless kindness. I'm not talking about the kindness when you want the third thing. And I know what you're thinking. What's the third thing? Well, the first thing is you giving the kindness. The second thing is the person receiving it. And the third thing is you expecting something from it. So I would invite you, if possible, to forget about the third thing and just do acts of kindness just for the sake, no expectation. So let me share a story that kind of fits with this. Let's talk about Emma. Emma is a listener who shared her story with me recently. So thank you, Emma. Emma sort of said, she was going through a tough time at work, feeling overwhelmed and generally unappreciated. One day on a whim, she decided to bring some homemade cupcakes in for her colleagues. And to her surprise, not only did her colleagues appreciate that gesture, but she also found herself feeling happier and less stressed. You should have saved one of the cupcakes for me, Emma. The thing is, it turned out her act of kindness triggered a, positive change in her workplace environment, in the atmosphere there. And she started to feel more connected and more valued. And it's funny because this to me is a classic example of how kindness can transform our own mental state, just as the research suggests. And, more importantly, Emma now has evidence for herself how these acts of kindness, these random acts of kindness, pay you back more than you give. Amazing, brilliant, gorgeous, wonderful. Helping women just like you who are unhappy. Perhaps even with your supposedly quote unquote good life. This is a mum and daughter duo, not pulling any punches as we explore trauma recovery and ideas for building resilience. So you work smarter and definitely not harder to create a transformational life, a life you love more often than not. The ripple effect of kindness. Understanding personal benefits is just the start, in my opinion. The true magic of kindness lies in its ripple effect. So let's discover how your beautiful acts of kindness can inspire a whole community. When, you do a single act of kindness, it doesn't just end with you or the receiver. It creates a ripple effect, like a pebble in a pond. And the thing is that impact extends far beyond that initial splash, inspiring other people to pay it forward. So I'd like you to think about kindness as almost like a boomerang. Those beautiful boomerangs. It always returns. It may not turn up when you want it to, but it always returns to you. And the thing is, research shows, experience shows that witnessing acts of kindness can make an individual 20% more likely to act kindly themselves. So I want you to think about ways that you can boost your kindness. When I think about kindness, I think about that film. I think it's A Meal, I think it's called. And it's where you can see the title character orchestrating good deeds for others, creating that domino effect of kindness. So why not start a pay forward chain at your local coffee shop? you know, because yes, I said it. Yes, buying someone a coffee and seeing what happens, seeing if someone else is inspired to do the same. Because making your daily life more enjoyable and connected is one of the best outcomes from these acts of kindness. You know, growing up, I was really lucky. I had a very kind of stable environment that I was growing up in. I wouldn't say it was the most conducive to good, a good childhood, but I was very lucky. I didn't have to move around, like a lot of people do. I pretty much lived in the same village all my, childhood. And even when I moved into adulthood, we pretty much, even now, we still live in the same house where I grew up in. And when I moved from London, because I'm a Londoner, when I moved from London to Berkshire, and I met my husband, we pretty much lived in this same village now that my daughter grew up in, that my granddaughter now lives in. And so it's kind of cool when I think about this story, this story of Tom, an old neighbor. I remember Tom helping one of the elderly neighbors when I was growing up, helping her with her groceries one day. A simple act, right? But here's the catch. Tom was a teenager and from the neighborhood. And the thing is, what I saw really inspired me, because the next thing, Tom started a community group to assist the elderly with their errands. Now, just think about this. Tom's one act of kindness created that cool ripple effect, touching more lives than he could have possibly imagined. I mean, how amazing is that? That your actions can inspire others, sometimes even leading to community-wide change. Can you imagine what would happen if we all decided to think of one way that we can possibly help our community, rather than complaining all the time about rubbish that's left or, cars racing up and down the road? If we all just decided to just do one thing to help improve the community that we all share. This simple question, profound question, opens a floodgate of emotions. Kenya realized she couldn't recall many acts of kindness in her life, but those she did were like rays of sunshine piercing through a perpetual gloom. This realization sparked an idea. If these rare moments could bring her so much peace, what impact could her own acts of kindness have on herself and others? Kenya decided to experiment with this concept. She started small, a compliment to a neighbor, a thank you note to an old friend, volunteering at a local community center. Each act, seemingly insignificant, felt like planting seed in a long, barren field. As days turned to weeks, Kenya noticed a change. The smile she received in return for her kindness mirrored in her own heart, lightening her once heavy spirit. She found joy in simple interactions, and the resentment that once clouded her thoughts began to dissipate. These acts of kindness became her therapy, her way of nurturing the child within who yearned for love and acceptance. Kenya's transformation didn't go unnoticed. Her family saw a new light in her eyes, a gentle patience in her touch, and an infectious warmth in her laugh. She became a role model for her grandchild, teaching them the value of kindness through her actions. Be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a battle you know nothing about, she would often be heard saying, echoing wisdom learnt from her healing journey. At a family gathering, Kenya shared her journey with her daughter. Every act of kindness I give heals a piece of my past, she confessed. Her daughter, moved by her mother's growth, embraced her, whispering, "You're not just healing yourself, Mum. you're healing us all. Kenya's story is a testament to a transformational power that is called kindness. It shows that healing from childhood trauma isn't always found in grand gestures, but in the simplest, compassionate acts we extend to others and ourselves. Her journey illustrates beautifully that in giving kindness, we receive much, much more. A healing, a sense of purpose, and a legacy of love that ripples through the generations. So, as we wrap up today's episode, let's reflect on that incredible power of kindness and its role in our lives, especially when we're dealing with challenges like anxiety and depression and stress. To me, kindness is such a powerful tool in our mental fitness toolkit. It's not a panacea. I would never pretend it is, but it can be such a ray of sunshine on such a cloudy day, that beacon of hope in tougher times. So the next time you're feeling low, I want you to remember that power, the power of that simple act of kindness. So thank you for joining me today. Remember that every act of kindness, no matter how small, has the potential to make such a big, big difference. So until the next time, keep spreading kindness and believe in the strength that you have. Stay awesome and empowered. Thank you for joining us in our journey today, exploring how kindness can really help with trauma recovery and resilience, helping you to create a life you love more often than not. I really hope this episode resonates with you, and if it does, please share this inspiration with your friends. And remember to stay tuned for empowering content from ABGW. Amazing, brilliant, gorgeous, wonderful. Remember, your resilience is not just a trait, it's a powerful force that helps shape your life. So as we part ways for now, may your force go with you, guiding you and strengthening you every step of the way. Bye for now.